Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. You may have noticed that there's been a bit of a hiatus on videos. It's been a month or so, or maybe more, since I've uploaded a video, mainly due to work commitments and the fact that there's not been a great deal to report. I could have made a few videos on current things that are happening in the motorcycle industry, etc., but like I say, needs must. Have been busy with work, etc, etc. And the reason for this video is that I've now owned this Voge 900 DSX. It's a 24 model. For 2 years. I bought it in April of 24. We're now in April of 26, and I thought I'd go through a 2-year review of the bike, my findings and thoughts of the bikes. Now, I'm 2 years since I've actually had the DSX 900 now, so it's my 2-year anniversary, or it will be next week, I should say. About a week off, but close enough to call it the 2 years. And as part of my 2-year review, I'll do a walk around and a talk about the bike in general, and go through all the bits and bobs that I found over the 2 years, which you'll have to wait and see later on the video for that. But generally, the bike has been cast iron, and I'm riding it in sports mode now. Probably should be in road mode around these twisties with all the sand on. But yeah, the amount of extras you've got on this bike, especially if you're going on journeys where you're travelling, the cruise control and all the bits and bobs, absolutely phenomenal. I'm not aware of the quality control and the general condition and use of the MY25 bike. As you know, this is a 24 bike. They're almost identical. There's not much difference apart from a bit in the software, where you've got a different mapping system and a 6-cornering access on the ABS that's not on this model. This has got standard ABS. So it's my opinion, from what I've read on different forums, that the early bikes, the company Lonsin, were obviously trying to make a big impression on the European market with this particular bike, and obviously they did. It sold like hotcakes. It was the fastest selling bike in Spain of 2024, and sales have carried on booming since. And I think that's an important point to mention, because I have seen a few things on forums where people have had a few quality issues. Now, whether these are issues coming from the factory or issues with the suppliers putting the bikes together and getting them out, they're not checked over properly, I don't quite know. One issue I saw a couple of weeks ago was that the front axle on the front wheel on one particular bike was fastened slightly in the wrong position, and the guy had only got about 400 mile on it, and it was wearing the side of the rotors. These studs here was catching against something. What it would be, I don't know, because even looking at this now, if they were right up to the telescopic fork, I still can't see it touching, so I don't know how he'd scrape them, but he'd worn all these off, and the axle apparently wasn't in the right position. Hands on heart, I can say on this particular model that I've had 0 issues. Everything's still working as it was from day one. The bike is functioning perfectly. But sorry, there was one minor issue, and I found that today on 2 years check. I've done it's not ready for a review or revision with the main dealer as of yet. There's 1,000 kilometers to go yet. But what I tend to do on mine, I drop the oil intermittently in between, and I've done that in the middle of services just for peace of mind. One oil change I dropped, I didn't bother changing the filter, just dropped the oil, so the oil was clean. And gone around it today, I've cleaned it, gone around it, and on this side, I'll show you later, there's a foot guard on the side that's bolted on. It's the same one on this side, but on this side where I'm standing, the chain guard goes behind it, and the chain guard is bolted onto the swing arm with a 6mm bolt. And cleaning it, I could see the plastic chain guard was loose. Took this off this side, and the 6mm bolt was missing. So in my toolbox, 6mm bolt, washer, put it back on, torqued it up, and all is good. No damage whatsoever. It probably would have been okay, but it would have been a bit rattly. It wouldn't have caused any damage or any serious issues. But that's the only thing on the bike. Corrosion wise, nothing at all on the bike. Everything's stayed well. I did notice on this particular side, as I looked under where you've got the steering damper, and it's actually this side actually, it goes through to this side. Just on the end, there's a tiny rust spot corrosion. So I've put a couple of drops of WD-40 on there just so it doesn't get any worse. It's not even noticeable, to be honest. Ride-wise, it rides superb. It's a big bike. You can see I'm stood next to it. It is quite a large bike. The good thing about this particular bike, and I've said it in earlier videos, if you're short in the leg, I'm a 30-inch, 31-inch leg, depending what trousers I've got on. Obviously, you're constricted then. And also boots give you a bit of height as well. But I can flat foot this both sides, no problem. And it's controllable. Once you flat foot it and you're on the ground both sides, it's very stable. I've only ever had it on the ground once, and that was driving through sand. And I went to do a U-turn and got into a bit of a basin, couldn't get my feet down both sides. The front and rear wheel were on the high side of the sand, and because I was locked over slightly, it canted over, managed to get my foot down on the cant and gently lowered it onto the ground, so no damage whatsoever. But that's the only time, even with my wife pillion and fully loaded with all weight and luggage when we've gone away. Quick shifter, I've gone through this in an earlier review when I first got it. The quick shifter works perfectly fine. What I tend to find is you can be either in road or sports mode, but you want to be around 4,000 revs when you're changing up through the quick shifter. And if you're going over for rough ground and you can't keep the throttle stable, your quick shifting is not going to work perfectly. It needs to be open, pinned at 4,000, not moved at all. Go up through the quick shifting, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, with the throttle held in position. You don't close the throttle, you don't open it during shifts. You hold it at whatever you want, anything over 3,000 really, but I tend to be about 4,000. Keep it pinned at 4,000 and go up through the gears. Coming down through the gears, this bike pulls really, really well from around 2,500 revs in any gear. So that is a key marker to keep in mind when you're downshifting. A lot of people want to downshift again around 3,000, 3,500 to get some beans in a lower gear to get off and be a bit of a hooligan, but that's not going to work. When you're downshifting on this particular bike with this quick shifter, you want to be under 3,000 revs, because like I've said, it'll pull fine from 2,500, no problem. So the ECU and the bike knows that. I generally get under 3,000 or towards 2,500 before I come down through the gears. And if I'm coming up to a junction, I'll be in, say, fifth. I'll get to under 3,000, dropping into fourth, let it slow down again, drop it into third, drop it into second, go around the bend, and then quick shift up out the gears. And the quick shift is really, really nice. It gets better with time. It does take a bit of getting used to. It's not intuitive as using the clutch. We all learn to ride in a certain way, so once you get used to the quick shifter, you will use it now and again. Now and again you won't use it, depending on what type of terrain and what type of roads you're on. The blind spot on the mirrors either side, blind spot indication, safeguard works fine. Everything works fine. The cruise control is super, super easy to use, nice to easy to put on, to accelerate up when you're in a certain speed and you knock it off and it drops to 220. You can reactivate it and it'll go back to the speed you're on. You can accelerate up and down, no problem, just using the button on this side. Yeah, there's nothing really that I can say that I haven't said in earlier videos. It's been amazingly versatile, amazingly easy to ride. It corners really, really well. The standard Pirelli tyres on this now have done 10,000 or so kilometres and they're due for a change. So I was thinking of putting intermediates on, but the ride today, I was thinking that mainly I use it for road use. There are some shaly roads around here with sand and gravel on that would benefit from an intermediate tyre, but I think for overall comfort and travel, I think the Pirellis that are on it, the Scorpions, are an excellent tyre. Like I say, they've given me 10,000. There's probably more meat on them. They could go a bit longer, but the front one has started to craze on the sidewalls. That's due to the fact that it's a 21-inch and it's quite a small tyre on the front, width and depth. So it takes a lot of weight, especially when you're fully loaded and you're going around bends, especially with a pillion on the back and luggage. Hence the creasing on the sidewall tyres. The tyre pressure sensor works fantastically. It does drop occasionally, the pressures on the tyres, like all bikes, and you need to keep them checked. It'll run between anything from 2.2 bar front and back upwards, but I tend to keep 2.5 on the front, 2.7 on the back, especially with weight and a pillion. You'll notice it's a lot softer ride if you lower them down a little bit more, although the suspension is pretty plush as it comes out the factory. Seat, A lot of people talk about the seat being quite hard. It's one of them things that if you ride a road cycle bike, pedal bike I should say, and you'll know that if you don't have the right padding in your cycle pants, that the seat's going to be quite hard. But you do become accustomed, your muscles, your general shape of where you sit becomes accustomed to the seat, and I find this fine now for rides up to say 2.5 3 hours. When I get to about 3 hours, I need a leg stretch and I need to get off, walk around, have a coffee and get back on. It's like when you just first got on it, there's no aches, there's no pains. So yeah, it's all in all, it's very good. There's been no adverse marking on the racks on the back that hold the luggage. The luggage has never been needed to be tightened up. All the nuts and fixings are okay. It's worthwhile periodically checking. Like I said before, there have been issues with bikes coming out of dealers that have not been torqued to the right setting. But touch wood, this one's been incredibly reliable and stable in its use and its ride. In the twisties, it's superb. Considering it's got a 21-inch front wheel and it's a big heavy bike, it really does well with the steering damper on the front and the standard ABS and traction control that's fitted on this particular model that I've got. What else can I say really? Heated grips, you can see we're in sunny Spain, so I rarely use them. Early spring I've had them on a few times. The seat, heated grips, extremely warm. I don't know about using them in the UK in the winter, but here certainly 2 is plenty, 3 is way too hot. Likewise with the seat, similar. Seat not heated for the pillion, although you can send the seat away, get it reupholstered and have a pillion heater put in if you wanted to. The luggage has been really robust and it's really worth paying the extra for the luggage. You're not going to find this quality of luggage at the price that they give it to you included in the bike anywhere else. It's just impossible to find. There are stuff on AliExpress, and when you get them you'll see that the luggage is nowhere near on par with this. It's every corner is riveted, it's not molded. Like the top of this is one molded piece of aluminium, the boxes are one molded piece, there's no seams on them, they've all been pressed. They're fully lined inside with velvet. They're really nice to use and take on and off the bike once they've settled in a bit. A bit hard when you first get the bike, they're quite tight to get on and off. Not much else I can say. The rear radar is superb. Anybody gets near to you at the back, the hazard lights will come on very sharply, and likewise if you brake sharply, your rear brake will flash very fast. It's not a continuous brake, it'll flash to let people know you're hard braking. Front spots, I tend to run with them all the time as daylight lights, although I've got the light on the front. The carburetor I put on when I first got it has been superb. It's not had any faults. It's pretty bulletproof. These 2 small bags on the front, I got stopped today. I'd gone to a local town to pay a bill at one of my suppliers, and 2 old guys came out and they'd heard of the bike but they hadn't seen one, and they were saying, well, what are these for? And I said, they're just for putting, what I basically do is keep my remote key in there so it's near to the bike. Remember, take it out if you ever stop and go. I keep my lock for the front wheel in there, alarm lock. This side I generally keep the cable to charge my phone, and my phone goes in the side bag as well. Also sunglasses if you're not wearing them and you've got a visor that's got a sunglass section in the visor. They're also great if the bike does cant over and it goes on the floor. You've got these in the side. If it's a slow capsize, they're not going to cause any damage. Obviously if your phone's in there and your sunglasses, you're going to wreck them, but that's generally where I put mine, and touch wood, I've been okay. Yeah, I think that's about it. The alloy wheels have held up really well, although mine need a really good clean now. They're not marked too much. The Brembo brakes are really sharp, really responsive. The wheels, the alloy wheels, are a pain to clean with the spokes, but they do clean up nice. I mean, mine have been on there 2 years and they do look kind of pretty on the bike as well. Yeah, so I'll have a very quick walk around of the bike. Oh, one thing I did fail to mention is the replacement screen I put on the bike from AliExpress, the frosted one. This is the maximum height you go on the frosted one due to legal requirements, being able to see over the screen. But that's its lowest setting. I tend to ride with it on the high setting. Doesn't impede the front camera, and it's been really, really nice. It's not got the same wind protection as the original screen with all the paraphernalia I had on. If you look at the very early videos I had a wind deflector on the top, and I had 2 side wind deflectors, and that was like something like California Highway Patrol. You were totally in a bubble. But this looks aesthetically more pleasing with the frosted screen on the front. Yeah, plastics have held up extremely well. The anodizing on the forks, although it's taken some bugs and battering, they've handled everything really good. The plastics are good. What I would say is the plastics on this are premium compared to, I don't know if you can see over the distance, my 300 Rally's over under a cover there. The 300 Rally plastics are really brittle and hard. One tap on them and they break. And again, that's down to a price point. This bike is made to a premium standard. I've always said that. There's no doubt in my mind that it's on par with any other bike, a Triumph or even a BMW. I mean, people will argue the question that it's not, but I can't find any part on the bike that's not on par. You've got this suspension on here. You've got the Brembo brakes. You've got the standard Voge engine that goes in the BMW unit and gearbox. And even the chassis is the same chassis. So there's not a lot not to like. I mean, if you're name brand conscious and you want to spend another 6-7 grand or 8 grand with all the luggage, go ahead and do it. But if you want a tool bike and a bike that's fun to ride, there's no reason why you shouldn't go out and put money down on the Voge. Just make sure that when you get it from the dealership, every nut and bolt is checked over on the bike. This one, like I say, has been bulletproof. Nothing's come loose apart from the chain guard the other side. And I'll go down a minute, quite tight spot here, but I'll try and show you what I mean. Now, this is the chain guard. If we're looking, it's only a plastic affair. Behind this plate here, try and get this camera down a bit. Behind this plate here, there's 2 bolts here. Take them off, and behind it there is a big bolt that goes into the swing arm. And I found it's a 6mm bolt. I found one that's 40mm long, and I thought I'm going to have to chomp this, but it goes into a cavity inside the main part of the swing arm, so it doesn't really matter. So that bolted on with a washer. Everything's tight as it should be. Chain wise, the chain has kept its tension pretty well. I did a tension pre-adjust after about 6-7 months, and I haven't really done anything since then. Like I say, the Pirelli tyres, I'll show you on the front what I mean with the crazing. We'll go the sun side. The Pirelli tyres, if you can see on the sidewall, I don't know if it'll pick this up on the camera, there's slight crazing here around the sidewall, and that's with it's not with the sun or anything like that, that's with use and cornering. And you can see there's a fair bit of tread left on there. It's probably getting down to where you definitely change it from the legal requirements. The exhaust, the steel exhaust, has blued, and behind all the covering it just is a basic steel exhaust. So, and obviously you can see there's some plastic of my boots, or my wife's boots I should say, where she's caught it with a heel that's welded on there. It could be cleaned off. But all in all, guys, yeah, I thoroughly recommend it. 2 years in, not a problem. Great bike to ride. Great for passenger comfort, great for luggage, and great for a long trip. So guys, I'll wind this up. I will put some road footage in of my recent ride interspersed in this, and you can see that. Anyway, leave me comments in the section below. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, and I promise I won't leave it so long now between videos. We're getting into spring riding now, and the weather is absolutely gorgeous, as you can see. So currently 25 degrees today up in the mountains. And ride safe, guys. Peace out, and I'll catch you in the next one.